Why are so many Christians miserable? That's the next thing we'll be preaching on. Why are so many Christians miserable? Really, in the truth sense, Christians should be the most joyful people in the world. Amen? Amen. But yet, lately, they look like they're just as miserable as the rest of the world. Now, I understand the rest of the world. They don't have the same hope we have. They don't have the same promise we have. But you as Christians shouldn't be so daggone miserable. In fact, get that miserable look off your face right now. Amen? In other words, when you get married, the goal is for you to become one. In other words, the other one helps the other one become a better person. When you get married, what happens is the other person, it doesn't mean you don't have problems. It means those problems help you become a better person. The other person sharpens you. There's nobody knows you like your mate. They know your weaknesses and they know your strengths. And if you let them help you, they'll help you take your weakness and let them bear your strength. But not when one continues to try to be two. That's why God commands the man to love his wife, and he's really commanding the woman to respect her husband. I can't stand it to be out in public, and when a woman disrespects her husband and runs him down in front of other people, I don't think it's funny, and I think it's disrespectful, and it's unbiblical. Amen, Brother James. You want to live a long life? Obey your mother and father and honor them. But today, that's almost a lost art. Even if you watch on TV, they're making fun of them. It's almost common knowledge just to make fun of them and be disrespectful. I see teenagers, I was out the other day, teenagers in the grocery store, they're almost running over adults. It made me want to slap them. Why do you keep worrying? If God says, hey, if you put me first, did you know in 1 Peter 5, 6 or 7, it said, if you'll humble yourself, did you know if you'll humble yourself under the mighty hand of God, he'll exalt you? And then he says, cast, in other words, throw it. Cast all your cares on him. I started to bring my rod and reel out here, and I was going to tie all the worries on it, and I was going to cast it out there. But you know what the problem is? I'd reel it back up. He wants you to cast them out and leave them there. Amen. Cast all your cares on him, and he will care for you. He wants you to do that. So if that's the case, why do we keep doing that? The devil loves isolation, because isolation will bring desolation. One of the greatest things the virus has done is cause people to isolate themselves. They isolate themselves. That's the reason we have more depression, more suicides, more problems today than we've had ever in the history of the country. And it's because the devil is bringing isolation. We don't want to bring isolation and desolation. Don't complain about your finances if you don't tithe. At this church, this is unbelievable. Do you know if you're not tithing, that this church gives you a 90-day guarantee to give your money back if you're not just as well as you were 90 days later? This is better than Walmart. And if they'll say, why don't you tithe? I'm just scared I can't make it. If you don't make it, we give your money back. Then what?